Borrow, my boy. Don't let me down. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. So, fun fact, here we are to do a breakdown, / live action review and analysis of chapter 340 of Pick Lock, which is known as No Guard, Part 2. And you know what time it is. I don't care if it's only the second half to a chapter. In fact, I'm happy it's only the second half of the chapter, because that means this review will be shorter than 40 minutes, and my computer will not scream at me that much. How much shorter than 40 minutes? We'll see. But regardless, I'm excited. Bara, as I've mentioned before, is a character, like, I feel like I've gone on a character arc with Bara. Because I used to like not really mess with the character at all. Then I messed with him a little bit. That kind of fell off him a little bit during Ubers. I think it was just like, unironically, I think Bara overexposure over a long period of time was like too much. And then he disappeared from the narrative for a little bit. Then like absence did literally make the heart grow fonder. So I went back and I reread Ubers and I gained a new appreciation for, like, Bara is a character who my emotions have been all over the place. And funnily enough, if you have been watching the reviews, you've seen my opinion. It's crazy. You see my opinions on Bara rise, fall, go to the side, go to the other side. Like, it's been a mess. But I am excited since Bara is part of this Double Jokers initiative, and I'm interested to see how well Hyper Offense works against France. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into 340 Part 2. No guard desu ka. Alright. Always forget, for some reason though, despite how much fondness I developed for Bara, I always forget what voice I give him. I think it's usually just like a bit deeper than the regular register, but not like with gravel in it. That's typically safe for like the adult characters. I know Bara's an adult. I think he's like 18, but still. Isaki made a royal dribbling path for me, and I'll devour it in one shot. It's a little too early. It's a little too early in the chapter. I want to believe you, Bar. It's a little too early in the chapter. Let's see. I knew it! I was like, wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's only the second half of a chapter, right? So it couldn't. I mean, it's entirely possible that we could have just had like an immediate goal in the second half. But yeah, darn. So yeah, Hugo's got everybody on lock, bro. He's got. That's insane. That's yo. Unpredictable my foot, bro. All part of the data. Jeez. But you know what? I guess that is true, right? Because technically, even, like, I guess Shido would be a bit more strange, generally, like, to look at him data-wise. But technically, thanks to the Aegis League, they understand at least a majority of all of Bluelock's evolutions, right? Right? Obviously, there still is the external training they did post-New Aegis League, and plus the training they did back at the facility after their extra training. But on a general idea, right? As fundamentally, misleading and chaotic and destructive as Bara is, you can kind of, he does still have tells, right? And as long as you, admittedly, I'm assuming what Hugo did here, he kind of ignored the noise of his teammates getting absolutely fried and just went for a spot where he knew Bara was going to go to shoot, right? It's like, it's a good example of this. I haven't played Fighters in a little bit, but I guess it still works. It's like whenever you see your opponent throwing a whole bunch of projectiles at you, but you realize none of them are beams, you can just, like, super dash through it all. You just ignore all projectiles. It's like hitting an anti-air, gosh darn it. Oh, that's crazy. That's a whole lot of mix you're doing. Is that a jumping air? Instead of jumping aerial, and just immediately blowing them up. That's basically what Hugo did here. He's like, you're giving it to that guy. I know about him. And that's the thing, right? Bara, while his range did increase, there still are patterns and tells you could likely read, because Bara, he's unpredictable in a macro sense, but on a micro sense, Bara, as long as you know about him, I guess logistically makes sense to be stopped in this way. And it's actually kind of crazy, because this is basically kind of sort of a callback to how I believe it was the Kaiser Impact, how it was stopped during the PXG match. I believe it was Ren who came in and like stole the ball mid-swing and like basically forced Kaiser to whiff. Same thing here. Like, you literally even see the whiff sound effect here. because Baro was so locked in, he wasn't even watching his peripherals. But you know what? I like that too. That makes sense. And the reason I say that makes sense for Baro to not really be watching his peripherals is one, he's not a Metavision user, and two, because of how we know he was training in the Elitist League, his whole idea is kind of zoning out the rest of the world, getting into that 1v1 with the goalie, locking him down, trying to watch their wavering concentration, and going for it. So, of course, Hugo, who, even if he didn't know exactly how Baro was trained, was likely able to read how Baro was trained, was like, oh, so as long as I sidestep him, it's literally barbecue chicken straight from there. And it was barbecue chicken. Straight stole the ball right from under him. Even Baro's like, wait, hold on. Uh-oh. What? that does gotta be crazy though. Imagine, like, I know Crocodile's fuming right now. But yeah. It was a little too easy. But still, I hope Baro does still score, right? I think Baro, but funnily enough, I guess the main issue though with how Baro's been established narratively is that he technically does sort of fit into the suitable destiny idea that Hugo has. Because, like, yeah, Baro is acknowledged by what Noah decrees as the best player in the world to be perfectly built as a striker. Noah himself said, oh yeah, that Baro kid, he's like that. At least I'm pretty sure he said that. I reread Uber's, like, right after the league ended. Or, like, right in the midst of PhD. So I don't exactly remember. But regardless, I'm pretty sure both Noah and Snuffy have glazed Baro's striker ability to the moon. Because he's just built like that for real. So I feel like Hugo will be like, yeah, keep doing that number one stuff, Baro. Yeah, you're good. Now, if only Isagi was your number two. But technically, in a way, Isagi was his number two. As Baro himself just admitted, Isagi made a royal dribbling path for me, right? He facilitated like a good little midfield. I'm kidding. You know, unfortunately, the more I love, it's a funny spectrum, right? Slander is a bell curve, right? If I feel mostly neutral about the character, it's gonna be rare. It's gonna be rare for me to slander them. There's still a possibility everyone can get slandered. But I feel like if I really don't like a character on like the back end of the bell curve, if I really don't like a character, they're gonna be slandered consistently. It's gonna be a part, like, if you know the characters on screen, they're gonna get slandered. The only character who ever escaped that was Ikaguri. Shock horror. At least for Blue, the only character that's ever escaped that, I genuinely don't like this character, but now actually I've gone from neutral possibly positive on, is Ikaguri. Shout out to that man. Feat of writing right there. But on the other end, if I really like a character, I'm a slander him to the moon and back, bro. I don't know what it is. It's all equal opportunity slander. All right. Everything is fair. I believe if you don't slander your faves, are they really your faves? Well, you don't slander who you hate. Do you really hate them? Then again, do I hate anything? I don't know. Not it's a Thorfinn, I have no enemies type beat, but like, do I? We'll see. Uh-oh. What? Trying to throw us off with trying to throw us off with a Tabito Karasu-centered frontal offense, and Yoichi Isagi and his hand-selected collaborations coming up from behind. Talk about attack power. Right. It is true hyper offense, but you know, if it is still truly centered around Isagi, that still does lead to an issue. I mean, like, I guess the thing is, right, this, since it was set up by Isagi, was still the main issue. If it was Karasu, if it was Hiyori, maybe if it was another facilitator, maybe they would have gotten it off. Once again, I still go to the idea of Hugo probably picking, like, you could argue that it was like a 50-50, right? As Hugo doesn't really fear Isagi as a striker, that's why he's pushing the whole number two thing. But I'm assuming for Baro and Shido, Hugo just looks at those two and is like, it's gonna be one of those two. Rin, he's already prepared a hard counter for, as we've seen. Or not. Actually, has he? I forget. I know Chigiri had a hard counter. I know Bacha had a hard counter. I'm not sure if Rin has a specific hard counter. I don't remember that. But genuinely, every other character sort of has a built-in counter. So Hugo, the more so like flatline hard counter to everybody, he kind of just gets to choose, right? So once he saw Shido pass the ball last chapter, he's probably like, oh, well, only one way this can end up, and went straight for Baro, which does seem to work here. So maybe even if it wasn't Isagi trying to make this royal dribbling path with Baro, they would have been fried regardless. But let's see. Talk about attack power. We'll give it a try too. Someone pointed out my comment tickles my heart. Oh, that comment tickles my heart. So, I point out my hypocrisy. Every single time I freaking geek over Charles or Shido, like, just speaking in emoji, people are like, Pencil never complains about Bachara, and occasionally, I think Shido does it sometimes too, like, speaking in musical notes, and you're right. I'm an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. And, like, notably, like, it's halfway a bit, halfway it does, like, you know how people say, oh, it just scratches that itch in my brain? It creates an itch in my brain, right? Like, it's not a big scratch. I do find it funny, right? I'm not gonna lie. And it does make Charles stand out, make Charles a whole lot more memorable. Especially whenever the emojis do correlate to, like, what he's actually physically doing on his face. Like, he's sticking his tongue out here, is it sticking his tongue out emoji? But at the same time, it's like, I think it's always because, what does it sound like? Like, it's a speech bubble, right? It's like, like if we're translating this, what does it sound like? You know, I don't watch the anime. So, like, and I know the anime hasn't got this yet, but once the anime gets to the late Neo Egotist League, what are they going to animate all these speech, these emojis as? I think in the anime, they just, like, do musical flourishes for whenever a music note is played, and or, like, a whistle. I'm not sure what they're going to do for this. Probably a sound effect of some sort. But once again, this interesting eye. It keeps changing, though. It was before. I speak too fast. I speak way too fast sometimes. Before, it was, like, a gear. But now it seems a bit more abstract. I'm still assuming this is presumably Hugo's Metavision. I think introducing a third vision type would be fine, but just considering the nature of how Hugo's playing and his nature as a number 2 and a midfielder and a facilitator, I feel like it would make more sense if he just has his own unique Metavision design, right? Do I wish more characters had their own unique Metavision design? Yeah. I wish more characters had their own unique Predator Eye design too. Does it mean we're going to get him? No! But unless this vision does get a new name by Hugo before the end of this match, I'm going to assume this is just his Metavision design. And that's a good precedent to set, I'd say. I mean, to be fair, Hugo is obviously meant to be a long-term, long-lasting antagonist. And as people pointed out, maybe they do just need to lose to Hugo here. Like, maybe egoism does just have to fail outright in their current interpretation of it, right? Because I was kept pushing, right, the idea that Isagi needs to get one over on Hugo. They can still lose the overall game, but essentially, they still need to prove a point. But you could just have them genuinely flat out lose here. It could work. It genuinely could work. So I don't know, I'm very 50-50 on that. But the reason I'm okay with it, possibly them not even getting one up on Hugo, is because Hugo, in a very, funnily enough, he's like, in the same way that Isagi saw Kaiser as like, that's me on roids. Hugo is the idea of Cam Sagi on roids, right? So of course, one of the most defining aspects of a midfielder, as we've seen so far, because they are the most prominent Metavision user, I'd say. Like Snuffy, to be fair, Snuffy's a striker though. But Snuffy, like he's a flex player. Then I'm trying to think. Rayo, a midfielder, and he unlocked it subconsciously. A defender and Aiku, defender and Nico / midfielder and facilitator. Hiyori, facilitator, midfielder. Karasu, facilitator, midfielder. Like, we do have strikers who have it, right? Isagi and Kaiser, but like those are the only 2 examples so far. Like Rin has like a pseudo Metavision, but my point there is, if we're going to spec into something for Hugo, I think it would make sense to spec into him having his own unique Metavision design, because he's meant to be that Giga evolved version of Isagi that Isagi essentially needs to overcome eventually to prove why he's worthy of being a striker and not just a midfielder or a facilitator. But we'll see. Let's see. Darn, Loki just hits the dash. Charles sticks the tongue out. Darn, it's a forward pass counter. Keep an eye on Loki and Charles. Yeah, but like, what if the rest of the team lethal too? I know Charles, but though I get specifically those two, because Loki is once again a demon. Wasn't done anything too much just yet, but Charles, yeah, he's proven he can score. In fact, Loki's the only one who hasn't scored yet, and so he was literally begging Charles for some feed. Let's see. The gear aura flying out of him. I like it. Let's see. Combo thwam. Oh, this guy whose design I don't like. Layden, I'll be honest. You could have just given him normal eyes. I don't like everything else about the design is fine and cool. I even do like he's very stocky, right? Like you can tell in a very, it's similar to how Hugo is drawn sometimes, where you can see Hugo's very, very built and large. Layden, he seems to be relatively short and compact, but he's beefy, right? Like he's literally the living version of 5'5" guy steps into the gym, touches a weight for the first time, and bulks up to the extreme. That's literally what Layden is. But it's these eyes, man. And ugh. Literally, you can keep the eyebrows, just give them regular eyes. I don't know. I don't really like this eye design. And I know other characters have it. Like, we're only gonna see him soon. Agi, we're probably gonna see him in England. Agi had it, and then one of, I think it was the Japanese player. I think it was U20 player defender Tepe, I think he had it too. But I don't like their designs either because of the eyes. So like if you could just give them regular eyes in the wars, let's say. I love and I glaze you to the moon and back, man. But well, just a little bit more. We'll see. Dun 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 dun. Huh? Oh, Loki, dude. Don't you want a goal or something? What? You're getting held back by Karasu of all characters? Let's see. Huh? They're working up the side? You think Lokis are only strike? Wait, no. Because I don't care. He's built. You think Lokis are only striker? That is true. That is true. And obviously, don't need to be a striker to score. Look at Charles. Let's see. Yum! Yeah. Yo. Isagi, you gotta stop getting blitzed, bro. I know. It's not your fault, man. You gotta stop getting blitzed. This is bad. This is bad, Isagi. But hey, honestly, speed spam, I believe it. Think of some of the best characters in any game ever. Usually the characters who can move and attack the fastest. So I don't blame him for having multiple speedsters on the team. Hey, I was talking about an all-speedster offense against PXG in order to make up for Loki. And here we go. It seems like this guy has fantastic acceleration. He just blitzed right past Isagi. Ball and all. Let's see. No! They saw that we clustered our defense in the center around Loki and Charles. Yeah, and then what up the side? What do you think? You think they're just going to bulldoze through? Let's see. So he's racing up the side where we're short on players. Beatdown time. Oh, man, he got motion to it. If only you had eyes. Let's see. No way! They instantly devised a counter strategy for our new tactic and switched to laser-focused attack pattern? I mean, obviously. I mean, not necessarily obviously. I do get, like, at least specifically for right now, I get why France would essentially just go ban for ban with Japan. Be like, oh, okay, you do this, we do this. Okay, you do this, we do that. Because not only are they spec to hard counter Japan, but in their way to spec to hard counter Japan, they also have inherently built Japan's offense kind of accidentally, right? When you have Isagi plus, Chigiri plus, Hiyori plus, you can do all the same thing those characters do, but better. So, they have, technically now we know they have two Chigiri pluses. Like, they have a Chigiri and a Zantetsu combo, except they're on roids. That's Layden and Loki. They have Hiyori on roids. That's Charles. They have Isagi / Karasu / insert midfielder here on roids. That's Hugo. So they're going to immediately be able to take this offensive strategy and counterpick it. Of course, do they have the same variety of, like, crazy strikers? I wouldn't say so. Obviously, the trifecta of Rin, Baro, and Shido are monsters on their own. But yeah, it makes absolute sense that they're able to just copy what they're doing. You want to go hyper offense? Hey, we had the hyper offense build too. We just weren't using it. Let's see. If bluelock... Oh, there we go. Let's see. If bluelock wants hyper offense, it seems they're going for hyper offense too. Yeah, and I don't blame. Might as well. They didn't even need to score before. So, what is that? Why is he a transformer? You go what? Let's see. Looks like they want a no guard all out brawl. I mean, might as well. Go ban for ban then. Interesting though. I like this. It's interesting to see though. In the very same way that one of the biggest things that's said consistently about Isagi, especially during this arc so far, is that he's the heart of the team. You can tell by the egos that are flaring up here that for all intents and purposes, Hugo is clearly the heart. And it makes sense. Hugo is the heart of France, possibly to their detriment, right? Because I don't, like, unless you want to argue this is the infusion of Charles's aura and possibly, like, the sun behind him is meant to be... You can maybe say that, though. You can maybe say, like, the bestial side of it is a all-out combo between the gear mechanics of Hugo's aura, the, like, final, like, the Souls-like boss of, I guess, Charles's presumed aura, and the sun is meant to represent, like, the godly, because I remember on Loki's cover, right? I think it is that. It is probably a concrete mix of egos and showing where technically bluelock needs to catch up. In fact, I think I'll interpret it as that rather than being like, Hugo's the heart of the team to a fault. Probably not. because I can see all aspects of their egos. We go with the idea that Charles' ego is legit, that Souls-like boss thing. That's still technically this, and the whole Megazord construct and the weird, like, Titan-esque look. Then, of course, you have the very different gears and everything interlinking and clinking together. The foundation, what holds this together, that is Hugo. And then you have Loki, who, in his cover, is represented by, like, a weird golden sun-esque chain that's breaking off him. That's literally the exact same pattern that's... Hold on. It's literally the exact same power that's behind this monstrosity. So, it is a three-way combo between those superpowers. And you can note that in Encounter, we see the separated egos of Baro's Sparking Lion and the Dark Crow of Karasu. They haven't merged yet. They need to go Megazord for Megazord. But right now, they're only using their individual Zords, which is technically a very big issue. Let's see. Incredible. Pencil can't read that tiny text that Henri has. Let's see. Incredible. So this is France. The world's #1. Yep. Impale them. Whoa! Rodin, chill, my boy. The beard is immaculate, though. I can't lie. Let's see. Wha-bam! Wait, no. Wham, bam. All right. Onomatopoeia, man. Let's see. Oh? Completely ignoring. All right. Are you? Yo, shout out to every single Baro, Chigiri, and Hiyori fan who was like, what does Aryu even do? Why is he so... No. It's, Nico, Chigiri, and Bachira fan who are like, what does Aryu even do? More feed for that agenda, because look at bro to get clip farmed on. Let's see, Charles. Oh, I guess, is that... Yeah, Loki, so Loki broke free. Alright, so Karasu... Wait, where is it? Karasu held Loki for like 2 seconds, and Loki was like, alright, dude. We've had our fun. And boomed out of there. Alright. Let me see. A shot like pass? No. Oh, man, I wish I read that. See, I wish I had scrolled too far. I saw who I saw. Let me see. It's perfectly aimed to go in unless I touch it. Yeah, buddy. I need to go... Oh, Loki with the header? Yo, wait, this is unironically, this right here may be my favorite Loki panel, bro. Look at this feed, bro. Look at this feed. I'm not sure if he's going in. I think he may be going in to header it in. I don't think we've never seen Loki even interact with the ball headwise, but I think this would have been a header. But I see it was definitely a header. I can see by what happens on the next page. I wish I hadn't seen that, but. Look at this fiendish face, right? Because I think it was in volume extras. I don't think it was an interview where we learned that what Loki wants the most is to see other people realize how inferior they are to him, right? Like his namesake is out of a god of like apparently unclear deific domain. I literally just rewatched the Overly Sarcastic Productions video on Loki for like the 90th time, but regardless. Loki is a deity of sorts. He was named for a deity, Julian Loki, and he wants the whole world to sort of bow down to him. And that is a sort of crazy idea when you think about it. Very egotistical, but a crazy idea. And to see that, like, it's the way the eyes are drawn, the way he smiles, like this is barely a smile. It's more like a sneering at Gagamaru. And he's like, I'm about to fry you, bro. Let's see. Oh, they got me. Poor Gagamaru, man. But not today. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, and that's the end of the chapter. Another review under 30 minutes. We did it. But, boom. He said, you want to go head for head, band for band? I got you. Kunigami. And like, I don't even see him here. Hold on. Is he visible? Hold on, I'm about to zoom in. Yep, he's visible. Unironic, massive speed feat for Kunigami, though. All right, let me point out where he is relative to where he ends up. So, the Kunigami is right here, like this tiny little guy right here. This is Kunigami. He's not even. He's like, is he even in the penalty box? I think he's like literally on the line of the penalty box. And look at how far the ball made it. Right, like the ball's here, just like above and maybe just outside the penalty box range, or just inside it too. Kunigami's all the way out here. The ball gets close enough that Gagamaru sees it. Loki's given the opportunity for the header here, this and the third, and Kunigami clears it. Like, look how much closer Loki is. Obviously, you know Loki has Godspeed. Loki is right here, so he's much closer. That's how he's able to get up for the header on the pass just fine. But Kunigami actually leaps, like, this is a straight cold hard blitz on Kunigami's end, because he gets he comes just as far as Loki did, if not farther, and then heads the ball away. So Loki, I don't know, man. I don't, like, he's probably gonna score anyway, but I don't know, man. You Loki getting, you Loki getting fried right now. If you want to brawl, then count me in. Yeah, buddy. And everyone was clowning Kunigami. Said, what's Kunigami gonna do? What are your goats, Baru and Cheeto, the bench warmers, doing? I know Kunigami was a bench warmer too, but look at Kunigami, bro. Hold on. Yo, that sounded so clean. But regardless, W chapter. I like No Guard. A very good chapter. And if you made all the way to this video, please do me a favor and leave barbecue chicken. I don't know why. That phrase has just been on my mind recently. I don't even think I saw the clip recently. I've just been saying it's just barbecue chicken from there. So please leave barbecue chicken in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notifications so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you're gonna have a Patreon below. You support me for as low as $1, get a $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Those perks include the live reactions here this season to review, ad variations of all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, early ad-free access not just all my videos on the main channel, but on the second channel that called Reaction, link in the description down below, and the card in the upper right-hand corner. And on top of that, you do get your name at the end of every single video. And if you're a $3 member or a $3 patron, or how you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video. And on yappy wappy of that, I do have a Twitch down below. I got the controller link down below. I stream every Friday 8 p.m. ES Tizzle. If you ever want to chat about literally anything, roll through. I try to game over there. It's mostly a yap session, but we love a good yap session, live yap session. So feel free to roll through. And of course, I do have my Ko-Fi down below, where you drop 5 minutes to a short video or 20 minutes long video. Any views at all is always greatly appreciated. Now, I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Got the Pencil, writing off. Alright, ladies, give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, J2MA, Buddha Ura, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Tim Thomas, Kaving, ORXN, Logan Guzman, Dead Mean, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntosh, BNA DNA, Edwin Igbinoba, Straw, and Tavius Mitchell, Superflame Zero, Weary Exile, Alex Kenny, Todd, The Practical One, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Jagoda, Plant Crone, Blast, Brandon Payne, Black Sage, Multi-Batman Superman, Salims, Joe Bean, Sleepin' John, The Young Family Pastel Pandora, Mo City King DKG, Andreen Bonnet, Akolari Babatunde, at JDog2656, Union Eye, Marisol Boyd, Funny Dude, Athenzi Shear, Magic, Sino King, Sheesh King, Aswin Hedi Presetia, JMB KD, CCC, Enzo, Kitty Liddy, Gerald Harris, Dino, and Victor Jacobs. Then, a even thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Dured Zoen, Kevin Encarnacion, Lil Kodo, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. Then, lady, even thank you to our Ink tier member, Shrimpo the Fourth Shrimp 06. Then, lady, even thank you to our digital art tier members, J Warrior and AZ Void. And lady, even a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Walkie Minoz, and Ernesto 430.